This is Rebecca, the Steampunk Planner. So, I mentioned before that I have a test, and this is the test. I'm using Derwent Inktense, and I'm testing this out in my 2024 planner for work and class. There's going to be about 3 or 4 tests that I'm going to do in preparations for my setup for 2025. So I've done a sketch. I've gone ahead and outlined it in the Diatramus, the archive black ink. It is waterproof, so it's not going to move. I'm putting my blotter board behind because I'm going to be working with water, and I don't want it to wrinkle or bleed through the other pages. Mr. Frog is going to come in to hold the page so it does not ripple on me. I am going to let you know just a little bit about Derwent. I'm only going to touch on this because my testing here is not on typical art paper, which typical art paper for this would probably be recommendation of watercolor paper and hot press. Hot press does not have texture. Cold press does. This would work much better on a hot press. These can be used with water and with alcohol. There's going to be a disclaimer I'm going to use. Personally, when you use this on watercolor paper, when the ink that these leads hold dries, it will be unmovable, so it will be permanent. And this is on paper alone. I am going to be testing this on the Tomoe River paper of Sterling Ink's book. I don't know if this is going to be a factual. That's part of the test. So I will go through this. I am pulling out my colors. I will go ahead and let you know what colors I've chosen, and I'm going to let you know I have overchosen. And this is because I don't know how the Inktense colors are honestly going to react on Tomoe River paper. So let's find out together. I am going to start with eliminating a lot of the pencils that I have chosen. For this image, I went ahead and chose Shiraz, Chili Red, Carmine Pink, Madder Brown, Fern, and lastly, the Spring Green. Now I'm going to use Spring Green and the Carmine Pink to make the flat colors on each of these sections. One hint, do not sharpen your pencils unless you are trying to get into a very, very tight, really, really fine area. You want this to go down in a soft wash, so you're not pressing hard with your pencils, you're not applying too much at this point. We're just doing flat colors. Again, if you want me to go into a little bit more detail, let me know in your comments. I'm using the Carmine Pink, and you can see here, since we're a lot closer, the lines that are being created. Once you apply water, those will dissolve. I have chosen 3 brushes. One of them actually is an eyeliner brush I used to use when I did makeup from Makeup Forever. It still works. It is a beautiful, beautiful sable brush. These are synthetic fiber brushes I purchased from Amazon. And I wound up using the one that was kind of in between. It's still a liner brush, but it's a little bit thicker. I've dipped in water, and I am going through and directing the ink where I want it. Here is an advantage to use the water and a little bit of extra pressure on the brush to direct the color. Here I'll show you on the leaf. I am moving the color away from the tip because that's where I want the highlight to be, but I have made sure the rest of the color is in closer to the rose, which would be more of a shadow. So with the green done, I'm going to now go ahead and tackle the roses. I'm liking the vibrancy of the green, so I'm not going to be adding too much more other than shadowing. The Carmine Pink is beautiful, and here I want to show you how, again, I'm using the water and the brush to direct the color, because this gives me the opportunity to add shadows as well as leaving highlights, such as with this curled petal. On one side it's going to have shadow, on the other it'll have a little bit more depth because there's other petals, yet I need a highlight. So this is perfect. Also, the coloring is perfect. I did add in the madder brown and the Shiraz for a little bit more depth. And I'm going to go at this the same way I did with the primary colors that I put down. I did find that while I was applying these, and even though this dried overnight, some of the green and the pink did come up, and I figured maybe I was using too much water. Again, I need to do a little bit more testing, which I'm planning on doing, along with testing some other products for my idea. Sorry, can't share my idea until I figure out what I'm going to use. Thank you so much for joining me. I have one last test that I want to do with this design, and it's coming up next. Here it is, and I think the test went well. Join me on my next one. Have a great day.